Captain's log. Earth date 062724. This is Captain Stanford of the Starship Monroe. Wherever we go, haven, hope, honor. What's happening is there's still analysis going on for the CNN debate, the presidential debate between Biden and Trump. I, for one, tuned in and paid close attention because I am a voter, because I do have a blog where I cover news, opinion, and deliver my own opinion and write fiction. So, of course, I had a response myself to the debate, which is already live at 7thfloor.org. Platform 9 3/4 is between cold and warm. Oddly enough, the AC is awesome, but it's not enough because I wanted to wear this hoodie. And it's moderately clean, whatever. Platform 9 3/4 is my room for those of you that are viewing this channel for the first time. Mission progress. Today I've been discovering that. By the way, my first mission is to lose 60 pounds and reach 185. Today is one of those days where I rest. Apparently, it's been happening that every other day I hop on my stationary bike, and that's my exercise these days. Because beforehand I wasn't due to, Anyway, just watch the last video for a deep explanation about why I'm exercising so late and the complications that brought about my weight gain. But I look forward to tomorrow. I was gonna still could hop on the bike and get as far as I can during an episode of The Big Bang Theory, which sounds like an awesome idea. We'll see how I feel after this. But I'm kind of beat, a little tired. I didn't get much sleep. Second mission is films. Since it's 10:45 and I'm tired, I don't know if we'll get to the film today, but I can let you know what I missed or might miss. If it's a good movie, I might stick it out. I do have coffee, but I do have a meeting tomorrow. One meeting, and I'm like, let's sacrifice everything to fucking get. I could delay it. It's true. The list looks good. I did fill out 3 weeks of July for films. That month, the first 3 weeks will be very special weeks where I focus on a specific actress. Week 1 will be Scarlett Johansson. I've got 7 movies for her lined up. Week 2 will be Kate Winslet. Of course, Titanic is in there, but she's got a very, very classy fucking filmography, and I can't wait for that. And then the third week will be Keira Knightley. I was a little underwhelmed at her filmography, but apparently as soon as what was it? Fucking Pirates of the Caribbean came around. That's when her career really took off. And I save a few of those movies for the end of that week. But we're focused on today, which is 27th, 0627. It is Thursday. Game of Thrones and Downton. I can definitely get some Downton in. Actually, I might do both. I don't know if I'll do the coffee, but I can definitely... Oh, dude. Just haven't been getting much sleep, but I definitely want to watch Downton Abbey. Back to the log. Milestones. Any milestones today? For a second there, and by the way, I have schizoaffective disorder. It's a mental health issue I've been dealing with for a couple of decades now. And with that comes Social Security, because it's a disability covered by Social Security. I thought they had determined that I was no longer able to work, or no longer disabled. which is their terms, even though schizophrenia is incurable. I reminded them of that at their office, and apparently funds have been returned. So I've been able to, well, the milestone is that payments have resumed. Um, I also am a college student. I also use that financial aid far too rigorously. Um, and as far as employment is concerned, I'm not concerned about it at this particular time because uh, I'm a full-time student, and there's a lot there that needs to be uncovered and unpacked. But the expectation of me working when I'm financially stable um, has an imbalance to it that it's hard to address in common circles because most people expect you to be working. But I'm trying to get a better job, a good job that I am passionate about, one that'll have me writing. So we'll see what happens. My grades are great in the first place. Um, that was a little disorganized, but just trying to deal with that work pressure. Um, External challenges, sleep, which is kind of an internal slash external challenge. I've been trying to get to sleep. I got like 2 hours um, around like late in the day, and due to the fact that I didn't take my sleeping pill, I just rested and kind of got a bit of shut eye in the morning. But due to my habit of drinking a lot of coffee and very late, I was up all night pretty much last night. So I need to get my sleep back in check. Today's inner demon has been my sleep schedule. Um, Not that I'm afraid of sleep or avoid sleep, but that the less sleep I get, the more opportunity there is for the auditory hallucinations to ratchet up. And I don't like that. I don't want that. No one would want that. Especially if you heard what mine were saying. Uh, so, in order to stave that off, I get as much sleep as I can. Make sure I'm ready. By the way, the difference between a functioning and malfunctioning mental health patient is their attitude towards the meds and their doctors. You got these conspiracy theorist types who believe that medicine is stupid for some reason, that their doctors are lying to them about the science they're proposing is the truth, and therefore end up suffering because of it and get in a lot of trouble and stick with their addictions and fail at becoming a productive member of society. I'm not one of those people who want to do that. I'd rather be successful. I'm a lifelong student. I'd rather have a PhD and be participating in research than to end up stuck on the side of the road trying to chase the next high and getting beat up by people who are stronger than me and simply are just more desperate than my situation demands at all. But today's inner demon has been sleep. Future healthy coping mechanisms. The best I can do is try and get to sleep as often as possible. I'm gonna have to start napping. The problem with that is I'm an insomniac, and it's hard to sleep without my pills, which means if I take a nap, I won't get to sleep actually. I'll just lay in bed and rest and sometimes I'll wake up with like the shakes, which is odd. And then at times, there are times when I lay on my pillow and I can hear a conversation under my pillow, bro. That's schizophrenia. That's an auditory hallucination, and it's a problem, which means my sleep needs to be consistent, at least. It needs to be long. So naps probably aren't going to be the best way to deal with this. I think a normal schedule would be better. But since my day doesn't have a lot of work, a schedule, like a shift, or in-person classes, like all my classes are online right now. I go to MSU Denver. So again, like it's that asynchronous, there are deadlines, but there's no class to attend. There's no real day without a job or class. So I have to make up my own day. And sometimes I don't let sleep into that day, because I love the taste of how I make coffee. And it looks like we have a culprit, which is coffee and my attitude towards it. Um, so I'll have to decrease my coffee intake going forward. Um, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm so addicted to the shit. I gotta tell you. How's the captain? The captain's warm in this hoodie. Warmer than he thought he'd be. You might see some sweat on my forehead, but the reason I story behind the Stanford hoodie for me, is that while I was facing a sort of prisoner of war situation in an apartment I had on the other side, close to here, but like far down, on a street known as Colfax in Denver. I lived about a block off of Colfax, and it was a heavy crack cocaine neighborhood. They tried to get me hooked, but it never took. Um, Essentially, every battle I fought in there was stupid. It was apparently dumb. So I took to the habit of wearing a Stanford hoodie with a huge, like, in color, not just white, but pine tree on it, which gave me an affinity for pine, which there's tons of it in the local area, in the city and suburbs of Colorado. Um, and there was the reason I wore the hoodie was to elevate the the mood, at least to remind people that higher education was still a possibility, because everyone there was obviously uneducated. Um, I could see the lack of intelligence. I could hear it. You could every conversation. Um, and I'm not just talking about grammar faux pas. I'm talking about poor logic and impulsiveness and something less classy than Ebonics as language, um, which is sort of an insult to my intelligence. So part of me wearing that Stanford hoodie was to remind myself that higher education was of value, at least. Um, so it was my favorite hoodie while I was there. This one I bought straight from Stanford. Um, when I got a little more on my feet, and I wear it often. It's a very comfy Champion brand hoodie. I don't know how Champion does the comfort that I feel right now, but this is my favorite hoodie, and has been for years. So it's part of why I call myself Captain Stanford. Um, the idea about the reason it's Stanford and not another school is because I saw a lecture by Dr. Sapolsky, um, about human behavior, and he covered schizophrenia. The only way I was able to access that lecture was through YouTube. Um, there were a couple of lectures in the series, and I didn't stop till I was done. I craved intellectual conversation, stimulation, etc., etc. Um, so that's a big reason. And Sapolsky is a professor at Stanford, who also writes scientific books on behavior. Anyway, so the captain is warm in his favorite hoodie, but it's okay. Um, there's a fan on in this room too, and there's a fan, like not central heating, but like whatever. I don't know how the fan works in this home. It's my sister's place. I was invited to live here by her, to help both of us out financially. So here we are. I love the family. I can't live without it. So it's a big step up. And free laundry. Come on. Oh, go back. What's next? I can at least get some Downton in. I don't know if I'm going to watch Game of Thrones, or because I'm trying to finish the series and then get into the House of Dragon stuff, which is more of a challenge due to the incest in there. Yeah, so forewarning, spoiler alert, Rhaenyra and her uncle. Anyway, what's next? at least Downton Abbey. I might hop on the bike. I do feel good about that. I might or might not have coffee. I just love this shit. I'm sorry. Like, I admit it. I'm addicted. Best event of the day. Best event of the day was the debate. I had waited all day. I had it in my calendar. I was eager to see the debate, and then it was kind of a flop. Um, I expected Joe Biden to take the fight to Donald Trump, and uh, Biden just came off as old and stammering, while Trump spewing his usual lies and um, crass stupidity um, and conspiracy theories at times as well, was overshadowed by how poorly Biden capitalized on all those issues. Part of it was the way CNN organized their debate. There were less options for the mics to be constantly hot. If the mics were constantly hot, there would have been exchanges, but the exchanges were cut because your mic cuts off after your time is allotted, after your time is spent. And as a result, computer, stop. As a result, the debate was boring, frankly. It lost. It was not all the fire it needed to be. I expected to see two dogs barking about their territory, and I got one dog who was barking defensively, and another dog who wasn't even attacking. I mean, Biden got a couple of jabs off, but I still like that dog, bro. Like, I'm still loyal to that dog because he's an American dog, and he's a loyal American dog. My blog response or website, my journalistic response on 7thfloor.org says more about that, and even highlights a bit of the event, some of the events from the debate that were noteworthy. I think I include even the notes I took while watching the debate in that response. But I'm still voting for Joe Biden. This doesn't persuade me against Biden, especially when democracy could die under Trump's watch, especially American democracy, specifically American democracy. Today's favorite person / character is Kamala Harris, who came after the debate, spoke with MSNBC, and was the strength of the administration tonight. Really, I even tweeted. I mean, VP's words have to be strong, and they were strong. She did a good job. She really carried the weight today. So, with that said, Stanford out.